Man, I tell you, this Zelda game really changes after the first dungeon.
What the fuck?
What? Oh, I unlocked the cape ability.
I don't even have this game.
No, this is part of Zelda. Yeah, there's some intricate backstory. Like, you have to watch your parents get killed, and then you make relations with a young child in underwear after watching his parents get killed in the circus.
Huh.
Yeah, there's like a parallel between that and Young Link, and it's just all genius. I can see why this game's a masterpiece. Hey, is that a Batman comic you're reading?
It is. It's Batman number 21. The start of the Button storyline, which quite frankly I've been waiting for a fucking while.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to like read them, and I was like, oh, is something happening here? I thought I would be in the middle of it, but I guess not.
Yeah. Batman's like watching a hockey game, which I thought was cool.
Actually, when you told me to read this book, I was like, oh, because like you recently got into hockey, and it opens with a fucking hockey game.
That's completely coincidental.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, but so you get into it, and it's got if I'm not mistaken, this is the Watchmen panel layout, like the same way that Watchmen actually did all of their panels almost, if not all the way through the entire book, which is kind of interesting. And then Batman's fucking around with the button, which he got at the very beginning of Rebirth. And so this entire time, for almost a year, we've been waiting to figure out how that button got there, who Mr. Oz is, who, whether or not Dr. Manhattan is now a part of the DC universe, even though we can all pretty much say that he is. You want that definitive, yes, Dr. Manhattan created the DC universe, or he fucked with the DC universe and removed 10 years from their timeline, and therefore fucked with everything and made the New 52. You know what I mean? You want those answers, but for the last year, we've just been getting small little tidbits instead of actually getting the entire story. So now that we're finally getting into the button, which is people have known about this for a while, I'm super fucking excited because first of all, I really love Batman. I really love the Flash. Their books have been really great this entire time. And then you get Eobard Thawne from pre-Flashpoint coming in hot on the runway. He knows that he died, and he's gonna take it out on Batman.
And then he's like, ooh, a shiny little button, and then he dies.
He dies. But not before Batman is contacting the Flash and decides, Flash's just like, oh yeah, I'll be there in a minute, guy. And Batman's like, if he says he's gonna be here in a minute, he'll be here in a minute. And then, as soon as fucking that happens, Eobard Thawne comes in hot on the runway. And you get this super cool fucking fight between them where in every panel, it's 1 second of the minute. Mm-hmm. But sometimes multiple panels will be a part of 1 second because Flash or fucking Reverse Flash is so fast, which I thought was really cool and a nice attention to detail.
And one thing I thought was kind of funny about this comic was this entire comic takes place under a couple minutes.
That is not what this is not what I expected was going to happen. You already said that Eobard Thawne dies in the first issue of this book, and I think that we were led to believe that this was going to be about Eobard Thawne and maybe him going back to Flashpoint and I don't even know exactly what he was going to do, but that's what it seemed was going to be the conceit of this book. And so to see that he's already dead in the first issue was okay, what's gonna happen from here? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm really fucking excited to see that. But this is where we're finally getting some of the Watchmen stuff come to fruition, because when Eobard Thawne, he basically gets teleported into some nebulous area and then comes back, and Batman's like, what the fuck? And Reverse Flash is like, I saw God, and then fucking dies.
Yeah, he just turns into a skeleton man.
He just eviscerates in front of Batman, and then Flash finally gets there.
And he's like, hey guys, what's up? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And just sees what's going on.
And that's crazy, the fight between them two is fucking great because Batman knows about how to fuck with the Flash, so he stabs him in the foot. Mm-hmm. I thought that was great. Just everything about this book was super interesting, super fun, super different. And I love the way that Tom King wrote Batman in this. Mm-hmm. I just think his Batman is it's really interesting because all the Batman books right now are completely different. Like in terms of like how Batman acts. Like in this book, he's one way. In All-Star Batman, he's like super quirky, almost Spider-Man-esque. At least in the first run, the first 6 issues, he's almost Spider-Man, like super quippy. And then in like Detective Comics, he's super like brooding and like this, that, and the other, you know. So like he's very different in all 3 books. And I think this one's probably my favorite. But I guess the question is like, where is this book gonna go from here?
That is a good question, and I don't remember, but like when Eobard Thawne picked up the button, it was a blue light.
Yeah.
So that definitely confirms that what's his name, Dr. Manhattan was like involved some way.
Yeah, and the thing is, Dr. Manhattan seemingly has been a part of the New 52 since its inception, and he's been like, he eviscerated Pandora at some point when she found out too much, or like he eviscerates like this guy when he finds out too much. So it's like maybe like him touching the button was going to trigger something within Eobard, and he was going to remember something, he was going to figure out something, and Dr. Manhattan was like, that's not for you to know, and just kills him.
Right.
So that's super interesting because like Batman's been touching it this whole time. So is it okay for Batman to know this whatever this is, but it's not okay for Eobard Thawne?
Yeah, it probably has something to do with like this is the Eobard Thawne from like pre-Flashpoint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's this Batman's like unaware of all of that.
No, because when Flash came back from Flashpoint, he had the letter from Thomas Wayne.
No, I mean like he wasn't. Like that Batman himself wasn't a part of like anything else other than like whatever's going on right now, right?
What do you mean by
and
that?
the New 52, like he didn't exist before then, right?
Yes, seemingly. But like I think how they explain what happened basically is that presumably Dr. Manhattan stole 10 years of time. Like everything still happened, but it's like a worldwide like forgetting of shit that happened, because as soon as red-haired Flash kid comes back, as soon as Wally West comes back from the dead, he like just touches someone and they're like, oh my god, I remember everything. So it's like it still happened, but everyone forgot. Overall, I'm fucking super excited. I don't know where this is going to go. Like, you know, we said we wanted to talk about where this is going to go, but like I've got no fucking clue.
I think I should also mention that like I haven't been keeping up with comic books. This is like the first like actual comic book other than like the X-Men Gold that I've read, and I feel like I've understood everything like the authors wanted me to get.
Yeah.
But like it's still like, of course, like makes me question a lot of things.
And that's one of the things is like recently I've like sometimes I'll just pick up one book. Whereas, like, I used to, like, if I wasn't in the know, like, if I didn't have the previous 12 issues, like, fuck off, I'm not reading your book.
Right.
But now I'm like, whatever, I'll just pick it up at, like, issue 18, figure out what's happening, as long as it's, like, the beginning of an arc. Because if it's at the beginning of an arc, it's more than likely they're going to explain enough for you to get into it and understand what's happening. So, I think this book did a really good job of that, because I haven't been keeping up with the I Am Bane arc that was just coming before this. And then I come into this and it's like, I know everything I need to know, you know?
Right.
And everything I don't know, I'm sure I'll find out. But I'm fucking excited. Because next week we'll get The Flash, which will be the next part of this story. And I just can't wait.
I guess it hasn't happened yet, but like, I assume like The Flash would be like the other side of this story or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it'll take place like, Batman and Flash come out twice a month, and they come out in different weeks, so like it'll go Batman this week, Flash next week, Batman next week, Flash next week, and I think by then it'll probably be over. But I don't know. Is this reinvigorated your interest in comic books?
Yeah, I think so, especially with like the two, like my two favorite DC characters.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what's coming up next.
That's good. That's good.
Well, anyway, I have to defeat the Joker before he poisons the Deku tree.
3 videos. That's 3. You can count them. 3. I'm super excited. This issue of this book got me extremely excited for this channel, because it just makes me feel like I know that we're gonna have shit to talk about. Like, the DC universe is just kicking off. The Marvel shit, Secret Empire, is fucking cool. Maybe we'll talk about that on the show. I don't know. Anyway, look forward to the next video on this channel, which will be on Saturday, and it will be about Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Horizon Zero Dawn, and sort of comparing the two and coming to a conclusion on which one we think is better. So I hope you guys are ready for that video, and you can click over here on the side and check out my podcast or one of the old videos that we've done.